Hello everyone, this is Seth at the Master Knife Shop, and today we're going to go over one of my favorite brands, which is Case XX. Case started in 1889, and actually a fun fact, the Mass General store started in 1883, so it's got to beat by 6 years. Now, in 1889, four Case brothers, William, Russell, Gene, John, and Andrew, and their father, Job Case, actually started selling knives from the back of a wagon. It wasn't until about 1905, when they branched out, got a little bigger, they opened their factory in Bradford, Pennsylvania, where they still are today. They actually started out in the wagon in Little Valley, New York, but by the time, well, 1905, they moved to Bradford. Now, the one we're focusing on today is called the Stockman. Very common blade used by, obviously, farmers, cowboys, ranchers back in the day. Had three blades. Each blade had a purpose for anything on the farm. Let's go over the blade types real fast. We've got our clip point blade, which is used a lot in hunting because that clip point is easy for breaking the skin and flesh when you're skinning an animal. But nowadays, it's pretty much your main blade. Everyone calls it the main blade. That's what you do most you're cutting with. You have your sheep's foot, which was actually made for hoof trimming of a sheep's foot or a cow. And actually, that's why they call it a sheep's foot. And then you got your spey blade, which was used just for that, spaying of animals back in the day. Now, though, it is more commonly used for if you're getting intricate, cutting something and you don't want to, like, stab yourself. That's a great little blade for getting close work, really intricate work. Same for the sheep's foot. You can use that chip to get really intricate with scoring, trimming, anything like that. You don't have to worry about getting poked. Now, this style is called a slip joint. I call it traditional. It's kind of like the OG of the EDC. That's what everybody carried back in the day. It has washers on the pivot, and then you can hear the snap, especially when you close it. If you hear a good snap right there, that means it has a good backlog. So very well made. The ones we have in our shop at the moment, we have the synthetic yellow handle. We have the Ivory Quartz, which is a little more collectible. We have the amber bone, the peach seed. And we have the Caribbean blue with the saw cut pattern. Case makes a million different types of patterns and colors and handles. And one thing to know, you can always date a case knife by looking at the tang stamp. You can see this one is a 2022 because there's only 8 dots left. In 2020 there were 10 dots, so you take away a dot for each year. Pretty much every decade has a different stamping. And also you can tell the pattern number. Right there, you can just see that if I can get it close enough. And those numbers mean a lot too. The beginning number is the handle material of the knife. They ranges from 1 to 9, I believe. The second number, which is a 3 in this case, is how many blades the knife has. And the last two or three numbers is the pattern number for that particular knife. So the Stockman in this case is an 18 pattern. Now let's get into some specs here. Let me get this out of the way. Get our steel chart. Alright, now most Case knives, if they have the stainless steel blade, it's called True Sharp, which is Case's proprietary steel. It is not on our chart, but it is similar to ATS 34, if you need to look up those specs. Case just came out with a high carbon steel, which is what they use as 1095, which we use that steel a lot in the knife shop. We have a lot of knives with that steel. Holds a really good edge. It is relatively tough, falls right there about 4 or 5 out of 10. It has very little stainless properties, if any at all. So that steel will naturally turn dark and patina on you. And a lot of people like that in their case knife. They want to go ahead and force that patina. They retail for about $62, $75.99. The Ivory Quartz $105.99. And the Caribbean Blue $72.99. Now, one thing I'll mention about the Ivory Quartz. This is a special edition. You notice how the bolsters are slanted versus straight like that one. And this is numbered 1 out of 2,500. So there are only 2,500 of this knife made. Ivory Quartz handle, really pretty. Got the acorn style shield on it. A good collector piece. And this one is actual bone. This is usually cattle shin bone. But they also offer buffalo horn. They use stag. And this is the same button, just dyed to a different color, and they use the saw cut pattern on it. It makes it look a little more vintage and like it was truly cut with a saw. This is called the peach seed pattern. So there's endless varieties of case knives and handles and colors. I wish we could carry them all, but this is what we have today. If you want more specs and pricing and links to this purchase, they're in the description below. And that will pretty much sum it up for the Stockman from Case Knives. I hope you found this information helpful. And before you go, please hit the like button and be sure to subscribe to the channel so you won't miss any new content. Thanks for watching and see you next time.